When you look at those companies who have really set themselves apart from their peers, there's one thing they all have in common, and they sort of have a true north, or as they sometimes call it, service values or service principles that sort of govern for their employees how to provide that consistent service every time for the customers. So in our organization, our 4 service principles are: we do what's right, we're there when we're needed, we provide solutions, and we make things easy. And I think really instilling that mindset in our folks across the country has really been powerful so that we can get consistent service every time.
When I started with the company, I took a responsiveness pledge. I signed a card which is hanging on my wall today, and I've made a vow to respond to all emails and voicemails timely, to answer my phone every time it rings. And furthermore, when I think about what the customer really wants, they want to know that their injured worker is being taken care of. They're going through maybe one of the toughest times of their life, and if I'm abiding by these service principles, that should make sure they're being taken care of properly.
Yeah, and the power of the service principles is really in that consistent execution across the country. We have a lot of large offices on the workers' compensation, the liability side, and customers are really interested in a consistent experience, whether that be in New York or whether that be in LA. And I think the service principles create that foundation that really allows for that consistent experience with all of our adjusters, nurses, doctors, and the whole team.
And those 4 things are pretty high level, but what we've done to make them even more impactful, I think, is define standards under those principles. So when we say we make things easy, that means we're going to follow up with customers within 1 business day if something has changed on the claim. And then we take that further, and depending on which line of business you work in workers' compensation, we say a big milestone that you need to tell the customer about proactively might be an employee who returns to work or fails to return to work because the facts of the case changed. Or in property, it might be you received a repair invoice. So we've really taken that and defined those service standards beneath those guiding principles. And ultimately, I think the measure of success for us is how our customers and agents and brokers feel about the service we deliver. So while we've worked on that mindset and given our folks the right tools, we've also built some controls in the forms of surveys, and we have managers standing up every day to talk about the results from closed loop feedback, which is our single question survey at the claim level, talk about results after a claims review, just really talk about input from the brokers, agents, and customers, and I think it's served us really well.